Hi and salam sejahtera. Today my friends and I will be presenting about the famous food in Malaysia. The presenter are myself, Nurul Anissa, Nurul Haswati, Nantini and Nur Mawada. Please enjoy this presentation. Let's go! Hi, I'm Anis and the first dish that I will introduce to you is Asam Laksa. Firstly, what is laksa? It is a simple question with a surprisingly complex answer. In Malaysia, the term laksa refers to quite a few different noodle dishes that are loosely related. There are over a dozen different types of laksa dishes around Malaysia, such as laksa Johor, laksa utara, kari laksa, laksa nyonya, laksam, and asam laksa. Today, I would like to talk about one of the iconic laksa in Penang, the Asam Laksa. It is helpful to think of laksa as a family of dishes that have some similarities but are unique to different regions and communities in Southeast Asia. Penang Asam Laksa is a Penang thing and it is quite rare to have an accurate version outside of the state. If you are a laksa fan, you probably know that every great laksa vendor has their own style and recipe. Not every vendor uses the same means to an end, but there are some evergreen ingredients that go into a satisfying bowl of Penang Asam Laksa. These are the few ingredients that we are going to need to make a mouth-watering Penang Asam Laksa. What we need is some chilies, galangal, also known as lengkuas, lemongrass, fresh turmeric, garlic, and torched ginger flower, also known as bunga kantan, is the basic ingredient to make asam laksa. Typically, hawker stalls use local mackerel, ikan kembung, in asam laksa because the low-quality fish is the cheapest in the market. But when cooking at home, you can try a better quality fish, such as a horse mackerel, ikan sela kuning, fresh sardine, or yellowtail kingfish, ikan pelata. Into boiling water, add the chunks of galangal, lemongrass, and torched ginger flower along with the clean whole fish. Let it boil until the fish is cooked and then remove the fish and set aside to cool before breaking off the meat. Or if you have a pair of iron hands like my mom, you can start right away. To the soup base, add in fresh Vietnamese mint, otherwise referred to as laksa leaf or daun kesum, for the citrusy aroma, some dried shrimp paste belacan for depth and pungency, and then for the essential curing agent for the soup, tamarind pulp and dried tamarind peel, asam keping. And finally, place the fish flake back into the broth and add in the ground spice paste. Let it simmer for an hour until the flavor fuse and intensify. Last, fill a bowl with laksa noodle or thick rice noodle, pour in the soup and garnish it with sliced cucumber, some pineapple, onion, mint leaf, chilies and torched ginger flower. Add some calamansi lime and a spoonful of sweetened dark prawn paste, heko sauce on the side. What makes Penang Asam Laksa is so unique? Each laksa dish is unique in its own way because of the reflection of the community, their history, migration, trade, and taste. For example, Southeast Asian cuisine often make use of coconut, which are common, cheap, and nutritious. The flavor of the coconut milk is ubiquitous in everything from curries to dessert and kueh. However, in Penang Asam Laksa, it does not use coconut milk. This sets it apart from the culinary cousin in the region. For many international foodies, chefs, and culinarily curious, the Penang Asam Laksa is a holy grail of flavor, history, and ingenuity. It is often said the best tasting food is made by the people trying to make the best of a bad situation. That is certainly true in this case. This dish has a tangled, mysterious history that spans from the poorest to the richest member of the colonial Malayan society. This is reflected in the diverse flavor in each bowl we enjoy today. Penang Asam Laksa is an orchestra of flavor that engage almost every taste. The broth lends umami, sweet, sour, fruity, tangy, gingery, and floral flavor. It is rich, complex, and when fresh fish is used, has a strong ocean salt and earthy flavor. It is almost perfectly encapsulates Penang, both the island and the mainland. The garnish placed on this note accentuating and complementing some while balancing out others. The brilliant addition of pineapple and heko is a good example of balance and counterbalance in action. The sweetness of the pineapple is both complemented and contrasted by the salty sweet umami of the heko. This relationship of accentuating and balancing plays out across all the ingredients in the dish, and what you get is something so unique, people will buy plane ticket just to taste it. That's all about Penang Asam Laksa. Moving on, my friend will introduce you to another famous dish in Malaysia.
Hi, I'm Nora Haswati binti Cik Abdul Hatim. When you heard of Terengganu, what comes to your mind? I'm pretty sure there is only one thing in your mind, the most famous local food, which is keropok lekor. So I am going to introduce you the famous local food keropok lekor. Some call them fish sauces or fish sticks, but in Terengganu they are called keropok. It is the specialty from Terengganu. It is the snack instead of a proper meal, and sometimes it serves as the snack before meal. In the second edition of Food Origins, we will be delving deep into the history of keropok lekor, how they were made, where did they come from, and why were they given the name of keropok lekor in the first place. Originating from the state of Terengganu in Malaysia, this East Coast state is home to the fishing industry as it is located strategically by the South China Sea. The origin of keropok lekor began over 30 to 40 years ago, when fishermen returned back from the seas who come home with an overabundance of fish caught during their regular fishing trips. The access in fish led to many of villagers living near the beach to create a new snack. When it was first made, it had no name at all. However, the people there come up with an idea for the snack name because of how it was made. Roughly, keropok lekor are made from fish meat from ikan parang or ikan kembung and a combination of salt and dough as known or not as sagu flour. The contents were then mixed and knit together. This mixture will be hand rolled into sausage shape and immediately cooked in deep fry or boiled. This is how the boiled keropok are known into boiling water for a few minutes until they are cooked and ready to be served. For the deep fried keropok, they are known into the pan. They are thrown into the pan to be deep fried until they turn crispy gold. Finally, keropok lekor ready to be served with their chili sauce or with own homemade chili sauce. You get the best of it if you take it right after frying when it is still hot, crispy on the outside and tender at the inside. There are three types of keropok. The long chewy ones are called keropok lekor. This gives it its fishy flavor but tastes as good as the crispy ones according to some people. For keropok lekor, you can eat it in two ways. It can be eaten either when it is steamed or deep fried. Both give different tastes. Sometimes the boiled one will have fishy smell when they are no longer hot. If you don't really like the smell, then better to eat it deep fried, which is the second type of keropok lekor. Why the thin crispy are called keropok keping, means slice. The keropok keping is also made up of larger tube-shaped keropok and it will be cut into thin slices. After that, it will be dried in the sun thoroughly, then deep fried in hot oil before eating. They are sold in packets and consumers will have to fry them and they are taken as snack. It is great afternoon snack and nice to be eaten with fried noodle or dipping in with the Terengganu homemade chili sauce. Numerous keropok stalls are to be found on the side of the highway that pass through coastal communities. Keropok is easily found as well in Kuala Terengganu from the store beside the road to restaurant or market. If you wish to bring some home, go to the central market for dry keropok or fresh in Losong, who is famous with largest museum in Malaysia and its keropok. In line with the current of modernity, keropok lekor is also not left behind in being into various flavors as well. The latest is sliced keropok keping with cheese flavors, black pepper, salted egg, and many more. It's also come up with keropok lekor cheese, spices, and other flavors. Through modern innovation like adding mayonnaise and cheese sauce, the combination known locally as keropok cheese may also be available. It is very interesting for more tourism to try this variety of keropok, especially when they come to Terengganu. Keropok lekor can be a snack that are high in protein because of the fish. The main benefit of eating fish is that fish is far healthier. Fish is very easy to digest. Not only that, but fish doesn't not contain saturated fats as all meat products and byproducts such as butter, cheese, and milk do. As you can see, some nutritional facts about fish are rich in vitamin B12. All fish are rich in vitamin A, B12, and D. Fish also is a high protein and low fat food. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nantini here. I'm going to explain about the one of the famous food in Malaysia, that is nasi kandar. Nasi kandar is originated from Penang and that is popularized by the Tamil Muslim traders from India. It is a meal of steamed rice which can be plain or mildly flavored and served with variety of curries and also side dishes. In the Malay language, the word nasi means rice, and there are other famous nasi dishes in Malaysia. For example, nasi lemak, nasi goreng. The word kandar refers to the bamboo pole, which means vendors, mostly Muslim from the northern India, were used to carry large container of nasi kandar during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. According to the local folklore, the dish was very popular amongst the workers in the busy docks of Penang Island during British colonial times, many of whom themselves were immigrant workers from elsewhere in British Empire, particularly the Indian subcontinent. For this reason, nasi kandar is a dish which is closely associated with Penang, and some people believe that Penang is the only place where the dish is made correctly. The way that nasi kandar is served is that the variety of pre-cooked curries and are added to a plate of rice. In larger nasi kandar restaurants, there can be a choice of up to 40 or 50 different dishes to add it to the rice. The amount you are charged for the dish depend on how many curries you added to the dish and what meat you are added to the curries. Beef and lamb tend to be the most expensive. However, if you eat a very large plate of nasi kandar in Malaysia, you will generally you only pay a amount of 14 Malaysian ringgit. An important feature of the way nasi kandar is served is that the gravy from the various curries will also added to the rice as an additional flavoring. Malay people have the specific word for the practice of adding curry to the rice is called banjir, which means flooding. Uh, if you want to have your nasi kandar served correctly, we suggest that you let the people in the restaurant or stall serve the dish up for you. Thank you.
Hi, today I will explain about nasi lemak. Nasi lemak was mentioned in a book, The Circumstance of Malay Life, written by Sir Richard Olaf Winstead in 1909. With roots in Malay culture and Malay cuisine, its name Malay literally means fatty rice, but it's taken in the context to mean rich or creamy. The name is derived from the cooking process whereby rice is soaked in coconut cream and then the meat is steamed. The rice is normally cooked with pandan leaves that give it a distinctive flavor. Traditionally, nasi lemak is served with a hot spicy sauce which is sambal and usually includes various garnishes, including fresh cucumber slices, small fried anchovies, roasted peanuts, and hard-boiled egg or fried egg. As a more substantial meal, nasi lemak may also be served with an additional protein dish such as fried chicken, cuttlefish in chili, small fried fish, cockles, and beef stew in coconut milk and spices. Traditionally, most of the accompaniments are spicy in nature. Nasi lemak is widely eaten in Malaysia and Singapore, more commonly consumed as a breakfast in both countries. It is commonly sold at hawker food centres and roadside stalls in Malaysia and Singapore. In Indonesia, nasi lemak is a favourite local breakfast fare, especially in eastern Sumatra. In Palembang, it is also a favourite local dish with the name nasi gemuk. In Palembang, gemuk has the same meaning as lemak. This unique dish often comes wrapped in banana leaf, newspaper or brown paper, or in some shops, it's served on a plate. However, owing its popularity, there are restaurants which serve it as a noon or evening meal, making it possible for the dish to be eaten all day. Nasi lemak kukus, which means steamed nasi lemak, is another name given to nasi lemak served with steamed rice. In Malaysia, nasi lemak can also be found in a night market with a variety of dishes. The rice cooked in coconut milk is actually common in Southeast Asia. This is the same process used to make similar rice dishes from their neighbouring country Indonesia, which are nasi uduk from Jakarta, nasi goreng from Aceh. However, there are differences in taste because knotted leaves of pandan screw pine are steamed with the rice to impart flavour and fragrance. Less often, other spices such as ginger and occasionally herbs like lemongrass may be added for additional fragrance. Nasi lemak in the northern West Peninsula tend to include curry. The sambals tend to range from fiery hot to mildly hot with a sweet undertaste. Hotels often feature nasi lemak on their menu with elaborate dishes such as beef rendang and the addition of other seafood. Hawker centres in Singapore and Malaysia usually wrap them in banana leaves to enhance the flavour. Roadside stalls sell them ready packed, known as nasi lemak bungkus, with minimal additions that cost between 1.50 ringgit or 6 ringgit per pack. Some people suggest that sambal is the most important part of a nasi lemak. If not prepared properly, it could ruin the dish. Since Malaysians love food that is hot and spicy, a good deal of spirited and good-natured debate exists around this point. This traditional serving style has been inherited for many generations from a little stall at roadside to commercials. It seems like a simple way to fulfill the craving for this traditional food in cities. In conclusion, Malaysia is a food haven which provides a variety of foods. Malaysian cuisine is influenced by various cultures from all around the world. Malaysia's population consists mostly of three ethnic groups: Malays, Chinese, and Indians. As a result of historical migrations and Malaysia's geographical advantage, Malaysia's culinary style is a mixture of Malay, Chinese, Indian, Indonesian, Thai, and Arabian cuisines. Therefore, as a Malaysian, we have to appreciate that we are able to indulge different types of mouth-watering foods in our lovely homeland. That's all.